to the 102nd store of Third Wave Coffee. And the 18th store of Mumbai. So I'm really happy to welcome you here on a beautiful morning. Before I begin this tasting, let me tell you a little about Third Wave Coffee. We were born with the idea of introducing specialty coffee to India, and just a little glimpse of that you can see in the beautiful painting that is there. So actually that tells a very lovely story of where coffee comes from, how it grows in rich biodiversity, and how it is actually impacted by the things that grow around coffee. When actually coffee was discovered, it was first eaten by a goat, so which is why you must wonder why there is that goat. And that is how slowly we started understanding how coffee is such a lovely beverage and why where it grows makes the impact. So on the global map right now there are about 25 countries which make coffee, which produce coffee. India produces the 5th largest by volume. However, we are still trying to establish that specialty coffee benchmark. So all the coffee that we serve, it's proudly from India. Most of it is from Chikmagalur. So the coffee I'm brewing for you today using a method, it's called a pour over. So this might be something new, but allow me to delight you and tell you a little about brewing coffee. So I'm just going to start by preheating my equipment. So in this we use a filter paper, we use a ceramic glass, and we use a ceramic cone. So once all of this preheats, I've also freshly ground some beans for you. So you can just actually take in the aroma. You can actually take in the aroma of freshly ground coffee. Yes, absolutely. Now I'm just going to the freshly ground coffee, I'll just place it in my ceramic cone and gently tap the filter. Put the water on top. So that is the reason why this method is called a pour over. It's really simple. All I have to do is pour some water on the top. I'll start my timer for brewing and I'll brew my coffee. So when I gently pour the grounds on the coffee, the water on the coffee grounds, you can actually see the bubbles. So the bubbles are an indicator of freshness because fresh coffee has carbon dioxide trapped inside. So you can actually see how fresh the coffee is. It has been freshly roasted about a month back. And the beans I'm brewing for you today are called Monsoon Malabar. So in fact the beans I'm using today also have a really special story. It actually started during the British Raj when coffee from India was exported to the Dutch. It used to take a long time for the coffee to reach, and the musty flavors, the monsoon winds actually impacted the flavor of the beans. We didn't actually realize that. We only realized it when proper packaging was invented. So once the packaging was invented, the people who were enjoying coffee in Netherlands and the UK, Indian coffee, they were not able to enjoy it as much because what used to happen was due to the sea winds, the coffee became a little sour and they used to give a very musty and a earthy flavor. So maybe when I actually brew this coffee for you, you might not be able to taste the musty flavor or the specific notes. It takes a little time to develop that skill. But I'm certain when you take the first few sips, it will remind you of the first rains during monsoons. So I'll just wait for this coffee to brew. It's actually blooming right now. So other than this, we take big pride in actually using methods which were actually introduced in 1800s. People didn't know much about coffee, however they understood science a little. So when they wanted finer flavors, they used science and gravity-based method like this one, or a vacuum pot-like method like in the siphon. And we are actually one of the only cafes which serves all of these different types of brewing methods. It's something very unique to Third Wave. If you visit people who are in the same industry, in the same segment, they actually do not have as many brewing methods as we have. I'll just top it up with some more water. My brewing time is almost done, and we'll just carefully wait for the water to drip down. So what's special about this method is, it looks really simple, right? However, it was invented in 1908 by a German lady. When she started tasting coffee, she didn't really like the particles in her mouth. And coincidence was that she saw her son playing with blotting paper and she tried using that for a beverage. So that actually produced a really clear cup of coffee. In fact, the same lady started a company years later manufacturing paper filters. That company is still into existence and it's called Melita. So this will give you a very clean cup of coffee. When we actually take a look at our cup, we'll be able to see the bottom of the cup, because as you see, all the oils have been absorbed by the filter paper and you can see a brownish color on the side. So as this coffee drips down, I would like to request someone to help me with brewing another cup. Yeah, anyone would like to try? I would really like if you would try. So in fact, I've preheated all the equipment because temperature also plays a very big role in brewing coffee. Same as with tea, it's as simple as that. And even the grind size, so if you notice the coffee grounds, they're actually grind by a very fine machine which has a really high capacity motor and burr blades to grind it at a very specific setting. If my coffee was too fine, it would take too long for the coffee to drip and the taste would be bitter. Or if the coffee particles were actually on the coarser side, it will drip down too quickly and I won't be able to enjoy a perfectly extracted cup. So they say that a hallmark of a good pour over is a flat bed that makes sure your extraction is even. So I'm glad that the coffee is all flat and we have a delicious cup of coffee ready. So any black coffee drinkers here, anyone who likes a cup of coffee? Have you tried a pour over earlier?